Hey everyone, it's Sally Estlin on Magic Mike Moments. How are we doing today? So today I'm very excited to be sitting down with Jaime Mattox. So welcome, Jamie, to Magic Mike.
Hi, Sally. Thanks for having me.
So I might just start with a little bit of an introduction of your bio. So you are a daily habits coach, a speaker, and an author. You empower your clients by customizing a daily habit system that pulls from a robust set of inner game tools that transforms your clients' lives. So your journey has been shaped by overcoming significant challenges, including surviving cancer, whoa, and living with multiple sclerosis. Having experienced struggles and a lack of support, you understand the importance of not having to go through life's trials alone. The understanding inspired you to establish New Soul Rising, which is your coaching business, and I can't wait to chat about that. So when you're not coaching, you're leading your walking group or practicing yoga. You enjoy immersing yourself in learning, hiking, baking, cherishing moments with your two sons, and seeking new experiences, as well as fostering connections among people. So, through your story and expertise, you're on a mission to inspire as many individuals as possible to embrace a life of well-being and fulfillment. And you welcome you to join you, and you welcome others to join you on this transformational journey. So, welcome, Janie. There's so much there to unpack already. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really good, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. I don't know why my intro always sounds better coming out of other people's mouths.
People,
It sounded great. Thank you.
I don't know where to start. You've just turned 48. Wow, look at you, hot stuff. Amazing. And what a journey you've had to lead you up to where you are today. Do you want to share parts of your journey and how you've overcome some of your challenges, including surviving cancer and living with multiple sclerosis? Wow, sugar, there's so much to unpack here.
There really is. And honestly, it's probably the best place to start is the murky middle. And that was, oh gosh, probably close to 15 years ago now. My now ex-husband and I bought a house, and we did not know that that house had mold. Like inside the HVAC system, like inside the air condition and heating unit.
Whoa.
But about 6 months in, I started to get sick. And for the next 8 years, we did not know the mold was there. And I got sicker and sicker and sicker. And the sicker that I got, the more the quality of life for the entire family suffered. My marriage deteriorated. My husband and my doctors called me crazy. And there was always something inside of me that I wasn't quite connected to, something that I didn't understand. And one day I say I kind of snapped. I had lots of middle fingers to go around to a lot of people, literally, proverbially. Um, I fired my doctors. I'd had it. I mean, my hair was falling out, my skin was
Mm.
cratering. My doctors wanted to blame everything on multiple sclerosis, and it wasn't that. But it took, 8.5 years of being sick before the mold was discovered here in the house.
Oh.
And but it was it was thinking or being told that multiple sclerosis was dominating my life, was dictating my life, was making me sick, that this was the rest of my life. And
Oh.
I kept thinking, this can't be the rest of my life. This can't, like, it, this sucks. This is awful.
Yeah.
I mean, to be sick every single day. But the day that I kind of went rogue and fired my neurologist and then just went down the list, I fired her because she insisted that I stay on the immune suppressing multiple sclerosis medications and like 10 other meds. And I didn't want to. And that's what really sparked the creation of New Soul Rising years before.
Wow.
And I went Eastern with everything. Like I ditched all the regular traditional
Yep.
doctors, taught myself how to meditate, found yoga, acupuncture, massage, essential oils, Chinese herbs, Reiki, you name it. I was doing all of it and I was getting better.
Yeah.
And then once the mold was discovered, everything made sense. And it was never really the multiple sclerosis. It was what I would talk about. Like, I have MS. I can't do this. I have MS. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't get too hot. I can't get too cold. I can't get stressed. I can't this. I can't that. So this whole time I'm negative self-talking myself without knowing it. And and then since then, it's been, it was a process of trial and error for years.
Yeah.
Um, but here I am. And it was, I mean, I know that was a lot to kind of try to condense. And I'd already, I mean, when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, I was 24. It sucked. It was hard. I struggled. When I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer at 28, it was hard and it sucked and I struggled. And through through all of the other health issues and my marriage falling apart and our house needing to go through the repair that we went through, um, I learned that I don't want to struggle anymore.
Mm, mm.
I don't want to struggle anymore, and we don't have to.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just about to say that there's always learnings from it all. And your overall one is you don't want to struggle. And I say to people, like, I don't want to be on struggle city anymore. It's like, we've got too
Mhm.
much of a life to live. But wow, what a turnaround. Gosh, gosh, wow. So then New Soul Rising sort of emerged out of all of this. So talk to me about New Soul Rising.
New Soul Rising was unintentionally born in the pandemic.
Right.
When the pandemic shut everything down, um, I was newly divorced, stuck at home with my kids, teaching yoga. I really needed to find something other than teaching yoga, to take care of myself and to pay the bills. And so I really just got really curious about what came next
Mhm.
and started exploring lots of other options and doubling down on the inner growth work.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I had come so far, but I had no idea. Like, it was almost like I was dancing around the edge, but I hadn't jumped all the way in.
Yeah.
And the pandemic pushed me in. And then I learned to swim.
Yeah.
And I helped so many people during the pandemic. Uh, just on social media, on the phone, that I really just was like, there's something to this. I've got to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I've got, like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so then I started seeking out certification programs. And so over the last few years, I have the certifications and the tools and the experience. But it really, my drive to create a business late in my 40s, um, comes from, I don't want to work for somebody else.
Mm,
I want my life on my terms. And I really want to help people like me.
mm.
Because if I had met someone like me 5, 10 years earlier, of course, there's always the chance that I still wouldn't have been receptive and I would have had to learn the lessons the hard way.
Yeah.
But there's a chance that it would have expedited this process. Um, it's really hard to ask for help.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's absolutely now there's alternatives, and inside the way that you're going, and some things just don't make sense or don't feel right. And so I think with your experience of, particularly with your medical situation, and just knowing inside that it's not right, and I think this is where New Soul Rising really captures people and gone, okay, people are resonating towards things. It's like this new way and shift is that we don't sell to people resonate towards you. And I think the New Soul Rising encapsulates that, of like, this is a way of feeling rather than so much a way of thinking. It's just like, I'm feeling this and this feels in alignment. And I think your body, right? Your body is going to scream at you if you're not going to listen to it. And when you went through that time with the mold stuff, you're just going, it's not feeling right, and your body was deteriorating, and it's sending you messages that this isn't right. And here you are going, and the medical profession saying to you, no, 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 it's this and it's that, and you're going, no, but that doesn't feel right. And I think you are creating a haven for people that go, what I'm doing doesn't feel right, but this feels right for me, and drawn into that. Wow, look at you. And look, the pandemic, it's brought out so much magic, hasn't it? It has pushed people into their comfort zone, out of their comfort zone, into the uncomfortable zone. That's where change
It
happens,
really,
right?
it really has, and I really appreciate you recognizing that and pulling that out because I mean, I am a daily habits coach. What we say, do, think, and feel matters. Every single bit of it matters. From the time you get up in the morning to the
Yep.
time you go to bed, what you do, your routines over time become your habits. It all matters. And there is a very intuitive piece to New Soul Rising that I don't talk about a lot.
Yep.
Like, I mean, when I have breakthrough sessions, I definitely tell the potential clients that there's some hippy dippy or some woo woo here. Like there definitely is. I fully own it
Yeah.
because for years I guided myself intuitively before I was even connected to my intuition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there was some, like my intuition was so strong that I was still getting the messages even though I was rejecting a lot of them. Yeah.
Oh, I
And a
love.
lot of, yeah, it's all within everybody.
Oh,
Every
absolutely.
one of us. It's
Yeah.
just creating the space to listen.
Yeah, because this is about your soul's purpose. So with the new soul rising, it's about listening to your soul and taking it on that journey, allowing it to go on its golden thread, right? So
Mhm.
most of it never makes sense, right? But it's just a sensing, right? It's a sensing as you're going along. Like this is like I was saying, people resonate towards you. And oh, which leads me right into my next question. What do you think is your superpower, right? Why are people literally drawn to you? What is the essence of you? Why do people pick you rather than anybody else?
Okay, so the response that I get from people the most is, "Oh my God, your energy is so amazing."
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
literally, like I can talk to a stranger and they're like, "Oh, you have the best energy. It's like you glow." I think it's my big heart. I think it's all the love that I have to give and the intuition.
yeah,
I think it's the intuitive connectedness and the love that radiates that energy, right? Um, if I had to choose a superpower today, I would, choose your word, love, intuition,
yeah.
energy.
Yeah. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Because in the very short time that I've known you, it's absolutely you encapsulate all of that. Absolutely. And it's just your vibe, right? Because I work with vibes. That's what I do, high vibe living, right? And it's your vibe is just like so attractive. It's like moths to a flame. It's like, oh yeah, I want some more of that because your soul is glowing because you're in alignment and flow. 100%. 100%. So what do you think is the biggest issue facing your clients overall?
Confidence,
Ah, right.
lack of self-love.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a
I will
pandemic going on with that, right? There is a massive pandemic of lack of self love and worth, right?
especially okay, so my clients, the age range is 30 to 60. I
Mm-hmm.
have worked with men, but I do work with mostly women right
Yeah.
now. All of my clients are women.
Yeah.
Some are like I have a career woman who does not have kids, is not interested in kids.
Mm.
um, and I have stay-at-home moms, so it really runs the gamut, and I find it fascinating that they don't love themselves.
Mm.
They have no idea how to tap into what they want out of life. They don't
Mm.
even know what they like anymore.
Yeah.
And as someone that happily and willingly gave up every part of myself for my family, I really resonate with that. But yes, I believe their stress is a pandemic, lack of self-love is a
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah.
And we really do live in a world where it's easier to blame everybody else for our problems than to
Yes.
actually look inside and do something to resolve it.
Oh, sister, you are so speaking my language. I think as we go through this, this shift from the old way to the new way, whatever you want to call it, but part of crossing that bridge is owning your stuff, owning your shit, like it's ownership, right? And us owning our stuff, but other people owning their stuff, and also this responsibility that I'm responsible for my life, and I'm not responsible for other people's stuff. They need to own it. They need to be responsible for themselves. And yeah, and it's deflecting. I was at a Mind Body Spirit Festival the other week, and people at I found were very not ready to go inside to take that ownership to do the inside work yet, but they are very stuck, like you said, like pandemic of stress and lack of self-love, and they're looking and searching for some help and guidance. They really are. And I think it is a pandemic of that nature, right? Of us trying to help other people and reach them. And imagine if you could reach so many people and help them go on their soul's journey, like on their soul purpose line. Like, could you imagine that? Could you imagine how much more relaxed and at ease and in flow we'd be? Like, we would be one big hippie world, right? It would be amazing. It would be incredible.
Wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be more fun? I think that honestly, I think that we're all born naturally intuitive and
Mm-hmm.
empathetic.
Yep.
And I think it just gets conditioned out of
Yeah,
us.
it gets slipped out of us
Wear
in
this,
life.
wear that, eat this, eat
Yeah.
3 times
Yep.
a day. You go to school this time, you do this, you do that, you do this. And we do all these things just because everybody else did.
Correct.
Not because it's always right for what's up, or it's not always right for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of it is also the way that we were parented from our parents, and they learnt from their parents. But times have changed, just it's wartime in a different way, and it's just, I think, particularly kids born this side of the century, it's like they're just very in tune, very sensitive, and it is part of this dynamic shift. They're feeling the energy. They're more in tune with its energy as energetically we're stepping more into the divine feminine, which is a lot more nurturing and caring and gentle. So it's a great time to be alive in many ways, because we're going through this phase of a lot of this shit doesn't make sense. Just like, what are
Mhm.
you guys doing? That just doesn't make sense, because we're feeling stuff, right? And our kids are feeling it
Yeah.
too. And the older generation are like, oh, no, 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 it wasn't like that in our days. And well, hang on, this is part of the shift that we're going through. So it is. So, in line with that, what would be 3 top tips that you would, like to share to help people who are like with this lack of confidence, lack of self love, and living with so much stress?
Okay, so I've got 3 C's that I'll share with you
Ooh,
today.
okay.
And I haven't talked about my 3 C's in a while, so thank you. Um, these are and these three, it's choose, challenge, and create.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the power to choose each and everything you have in your life and each and everything you don't. You have the power to create, you have the power to challenge every story you're telling yourself.
Love
And
it.
you have the, right? And you have the power to create exactly the life you want. And all of these 3 C's happen one baby step at a time.
Yeah.
And it starts with increasing your awareness, catching the negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
It's gratitude, 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 gratitude. There's water in my cup. There's electricity that has my ring light on. There's gas in my car. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I think as humans, we accidentally underappreciate our life because modern life has so many conveniences.
Yeah.
Um, and so really, I mean, awareness and gratitude is where I would tell people to start. But the challenge, the story you're telling yourself, I learned from the wonderful Brene Brown in Rising Strong.
Yeah.
I Brene Brown taught me to rumble with the story I was telling myself, and that was you want to talk about a game changer. We're really good at lying to ourselves.
Mm.
We don't even know we're doing it.
I know. We're in autopilot with it. Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the things that you say in your head to yourself, you wouldn't say to your worst enemy, right? And that's a repeated pattern that's is looping every day.
Absolutely. I had a client last week tell me something she said to her husband, and I just looked at her and I was like, okay, I've literally been in your physical shoes. I've literally been there. Would you say that to me? And she went like deer in headlights. No, Jamie, I wouldn't say that to you. Then don't say it to anybody else.
Yeah.
Like nobody.
Yeah.
not your husband. Like, the negative self-talk that plays on a loop in our head
Yep.
eventually spills right out of our mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the other person and everything to do with the ways that I don't know, our inner child needs to be nourished or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's, I mean, and, awareness is everything. You can't change what you don't know. So, once you have that light bulb, aha, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And, I often talk about the story. I had this gardenia bush, which I got for my 50th. So it's a few years ago now. But long story short, I was moving house and someone said, just throw that out because it was just all sticks and stuff. There's no leaves, no flowers, no nothing. And so I said, no, bugger it. I'm going to turn this tree around. So it's a little bush. So just for 1 week, I watered it, but everything else got watered as normal. But I spoke to it and I spoke really nicely to this gardenia bush. And I said, please, like, say, come on, honey, I'm here. I'm sending you some love. And I did it for a week. And then the shoot started. And now it's this beautiful flowering bush. And I brought it back to life. And that was my moment when I've gone, holy shit, this is for real. If I spoke to myself nicer, imagine what my cells would be absorbing and what I could do to my own body. And
Mhm.
yeah, I was a contributing author in The Inside Effects, and it's about how the body has the innate ability to heal itself. So, what are we doing and damaging to ourselves on a daily basis, minute by minute, with the thoughts that we're putting into our head and absorbing into ourselves? I think
Oh yeah.
I think Joe Dispenza bangs on about we have 80 to 90,000 thoughts a day, and 70 to 80% of those thoughts are the same ones that we had yesterday. So we're constantly, like you said, looping with this negativity. Like you said, we can choose to change, right? And we can create the life of our dreams just by
Absolutely.
changing our thoughts, right? That's where it starts. You get down to you uncover it and go, oh my gosh, I've been wounding myself. It's nobody else. It's just like me. I'm in the driver's seat here. I can change it. And these stories, oh my gosh. And once again, you can't change when you don't know, but once you realize, oh my God, I've been reading this book over and over and over again, telling the same story, and it's bullshit. It's just shit.
I quote Spider-Man all the time too. I say, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Because we can't know what we don't know until we know it. But
Yeah.
once we do, that's where the great power and the great responsibility come in.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to, and I'm so glad you brought up Dr. Joe. When it comes to the neuroscience of the brain, we're
Mm.
always going to default to what's known or what's comfortable,
Safe.
um,
Yeah.
what's safe.
Mm.
Yeah. And now I totally lost where I was going to, the point I was going to make. I'm going
Sorry.
to apologize and tell
It's
you that
about the neuroscience of the brain because it's all proven, right? With changing it all with our thoughts, and
yeah.
and anybody that wants some sort of scientific uh, fact around it all, just get into Dr. Joe's stuff because he's very good at explaining in a user friendly way how our brains and neurocircuitry changes with our thoughts because everything is energy. Everything is energy. So yeah, very user friendly way. I've read all his books. I've done his advanced retreat in Mexico. It's mind blowing. The meditations are incredible, incredible. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big fan.
He's on one of his retreats is on my bucket list.
Oh, do it, do it, do it. Like, it's like, seriously, I went all the way from Australia to Mexico and I had to end up taking thermals and the whole time in a sleeping bag because even though it's hot outside, you've got like 2,000 people in the room. And when you're doing these meditations, they have to make the room so cold because the energy within the room just rises. And so you're in these sleeping bags and all because it's so cold in there. Because when people start meditating as a mass, oh my gosh, it's mind blowing. Like it's incredible. It's the vibe is ridiculous. And people were having breakthroughs and healing their illnesses from the energy in the room. There was one guy who had been skydiving and had broken his back in 3 or 5 places or something. He was walking straight by the end of that, just from the energy in that room. So wow. So imagine if we can change our thoughts, what we can change in our lives, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, like I got chills, I got tingles, like I mean, I'm so glad we went down that path. And and I think too, if I can add this if there's time,
Hmm.
the C that is really the choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You you get to choose.
Yeah.
You get to choose. And if you're tired of being where you are, you get to choose to try something different. And when things don't work out the way you expect, then well, maybe it's time to let go of expectation and
Mm.
receive what's there.
Yeah.
Like I just think we're conditioned. We're just like you said, like our parents, their parents, all doing the best they can or they could. I'm throwing no shade or no judgment at parents. I
Yeah.
tell my clients all the time, I'm not stirring up shit with your parents here. I'm just telling you that, like you know what you needed. And now it's your turn to give it to yourself.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And what you're saying, I think we're getting pushed to the point that just as a population, we're ready to just let go. That it's like a pressure cooker that's just about to explode. And
Mhm.
it's just simple, small steps. But this is where the work that you're doing is so invaluable. And I highly encourage people to reach out to you because it's starting with like little, small steps. Because as you said, everything is a choice. How we choose to think and feel and act, we're in the driver's seat of that. There's not much that we can control, but that's one thing. And that's a choice to perceive things in a positive or a negative way. I have this mantra, let go, step up and be more. And I really feel as a population, we're all just starting to get to that. Let go of judgment on yourself, let go of other people's criticisms and let go of that stuff. It doesn't matter. The drama, the limiting beliefs, and stepping up and amplifying our energy and just being more of ourselves, our true selves, on your soul's purpose. And, the more that we can get out and reach people and say, like just reach out because we're here to guide and support you to do that because we have limited time and energy. And how do you want to choose to spend that? We're here to
Right?
be happy, healthy, and wealthy and on all levels. We're not here to not here for a long time, so let's make it a good time, right? And just life's
Mhm.
too short. And I think through your journey and your experiences, you've got this wealth of understanding of going from illness to wellness, from pain to calm, peace, inner peace, and freedom. And it's that freedom that we're all striving for. We want inner peace and freedom.
And I will throw out there that multiple sclerosis dictated my life for a long time.
Mm,
And now I kind of pretend like I don't even think about it.
yeah,
I really do think that there's a lot of people with multiple sclerosis that I could help, but I really don't want to talk about it.
yeah.
I want to talk about how vibrant and healthy I am.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Labels can define us. And I think that's what you're trying to like is live the example of like, yes, we've all got stuff and
Mhm.
some of it's labeled as more concerning than other stuff, whatever, but it's getting that mindset of I'm not allowing that to define me. And here's another story from Dr. Joe. I can't remember which book it was in, but there was his old dude and he was diagnosed with cancer. And he said, right, I'm going to just try and hang on till Christmas. And so he hung on. I think he had 3 months. And so just after Christmas, he died. And then they did an autopsy or something, and it came out that he actually didn't have cancer, that he was wrongly diagnosed. And so he thought himself into the illness, right? And he wasn't. So he quickly declined because he was told that I'm sick, right? And so that's where labeling can misconstrue. Like, yes, you need to know that you've got conditions so that you can manage that. And that's
Absolutely.
important, but it's finding that fine line behind before allowing it to dictate you.
Hmm.
So so many people don't realize that they have these illnesses. Like if we went and got everything checked, I'd hate to think what things I'd be ticking, right? And so
Sure.
I just think, like you said, if we're living this life with gratitude, having awareness of ourselves, taking ownership of our stuff, what a world we could create.
That's a fun idea. I'm
It's
still
even
stuck. I'm
powerful.
still stuck on that last story. I'm still thinking of the guy who thought himself ill because somebody told him he was.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah,
of so many people that, and I was one of them. I mean, I used to stand as a stay-at-home mom for 17 years. I would stand at my kitchen sink and do dishes and look out into my backyard and relive every argument I had with anybody. But when I was reliving it, I was standing up for myself, and I wasn't standing up for myself in a nice way.
Yeah.
And that became my life.
Yeah.
Everything was a fight.
Yeah.
Everything was a fight. And if we can make ourselves sick, if we can make ourselves unhappy, if we can make ourselves fight, why not the opposite?
Exactly. Channel that energy. Channel it big time. There's a book that I read with all the time, Ina Segal's book, The Secret Language of Your Body, and that just describes all the hidden emotions that are stuck in with all of the illnesses. And it was just it's a build on from Louise Hay's, but this is a whole other level of amazingness. So, the Heal Your Body Louise Hay book, that's another one. But there's so many around there. But, we are in the driver's seat, and we can create greatness. We can, just through our thoughts and our mindset, and get that right. And you're stepping into wellness, and you don't even worry on anything else. Just have this vision: wellness, 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 and just do little small things every day, from drinking your water. And it's the power of your thoughts, though. Absolutely. Like, oh
Well,
my
and I love
God.
that I love that you brought up water, because yes, yes, there's a quote I love: small hinges swing big doors.
Yes.
And it is consistent routines that benefit your health, movement, healthy nutrient dense food,
Yeah.
water, what you tell yourself,
Yes.
whether you're listening to or doing meditations or hypnosis or whatever other modalities, um, it is those small consistent steps
Yeah.
that then you get to level up, and then you get to do it again in another area of your life, and another area of your life, and another area of your
Yeah.
life, and
Yeah.
that's kind of how you pull all together,
Yeah.
the abundance, the success, the friendships, the romantic relationships. It's like you said, they all just present. Like,
Yeah.
I find it so fascinating, the amazing people like you that just fall into my mouth, like fall into my lap.
Same,
Like,
same.
I'm sitting here in Kyle, Texas, which is, just south of Austin, and where are you in Australia?
I'm in Melbourne, so down south.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're literally on other sides of the world.
Yeah.
And yet here we are.
And talking on the same page. We're speaking from the same hymn book. And yeah, and this is why I do this. It's to have more and more of these authentic conversations about topics that need to be spoken about. 20, 30 years ago, it might have been a little bit more taboo or a little bit more woo-woo, but it's not. This is real life. And, we just want to have a happy, healthy, wealthy life, right? And just have fun. There's not enough fun in this lifetime. And it's like, we've got to have a
Okay.
laugh.
Speaking of fun, can I tell you a fun little story? I hope this doesn't offend anyone, but I was in a grocery store called Central Market. It's a little fancier.
Yeah.
You might go there and get things you can't get at a regular supermarket. And I got into a conversation with this lady, and somewhere mid conversation, she had a lot of judgment. She says, "Oh no, dear, you don't woo woo, do you?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I do woo woo." And she did not like that. She actually gave her opinion on where I was going to end up. And I'll let you fill in the blanks. But so there are still people who are very resistant to
Mm,
thinking outside of the box
mm,
and getting a new perspective. And it is important that we keep talking about it,
mm.
because the people that are paying attention are paying attention.
Yeah.
You know, the people with the I have the most faith that this message will reach the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just keep chipping away because, as we've both said, it's simple, small steps. That's just
Mhm.
start. You've just got to start. Then you get the energy in motion, and it starts to get more traction, and it snowballs that way. And it's just start with simple, small steps, because that becomes sustainable, because it's creating new daily habits, right? Which is what we're all about.
Mhm.
So this is a perfect way to wind it all up. I mean, I could talk to you for hours. But
Oh, I mean, yeah, I could talk to you for hours too.
We're so on the same page, and I highly encourage people to reach out to you and, go on this new soul rising adventure and transform your life, because it's time. Your soul is singing at you, and you know when you're not in alignment and flow because you feel out of sorts, and you're about helping people get on the right track. And your story alone of surviving cancer and living with MS, which doesn't define you. You just are living with stuff, right? And it's just how you're choosing to move forward in life and what you're choosing to focus on, because it's all about intention, isn't it? Everything is about intention. So, Jamie, thank you so much for joining us on fun. It's not funny way, it's magic like moments today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So any parting words to our listeners today?
Just keep showing up for yourself.
Yeah, love
Just stay curious, trade judgment for curiosity. More than likely, you're doing better than you know.
yeah.
Just, keep going. Yes, reach out and find the people that you need, or, put the intention out there into the universe.
I
And
love
listen, like when the universe speaks, listen.
Yes, I'm getting it right down my back. And I think you just summed it all up. Trade judgment for curiosity. Just be curious, just be open, just allow yourself to let stuff land, because when you let go, magic happens, doesn't it? It's just incredible.
Yes.
So, Jamie, thank you, thank you, thank you for being a guest on today. I've absolutely loved and adored chatting with you, and I love and adore you. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll catch you again soon. See you later.